Hey students of grade 5, fantastic day to you. Today we are going to read and understand the chapter 1 of science, and it goes more about plants. We all love plants, don't we? And plants are my favorite. I love a lot of greenery. Let's see what the warm-up session has for us. Well, it goes like this. Who am I? Unscramble the letters in the box given below to find the answers. Now this sounds quite interesting. Let's see what it is. I am a seed, 3 letters in my name. Take away 2, still I sound quite the same. Now can it be this? Nah, because it has 3 letters, it says. Is it this? Nah. Is it this? Definitely not. Not this to here. I can see 3 letters. So what could this be? A, P, E. Oh, it's a P. So how do we spell P? P, E, A. That's P. So we got the answer here. Let's jump on to the second one. Now let's see what this has to say us. It sounds more like a riddle, doesn't it? I am a fruit, sweet inside. I appear red. You can see my seeds from outside. Now this is red. It is sweet and the seeds are from outside. So definitely it's going to be this. Let's unscramble it. It is a strawberry. S-T-R-A-W-B-E-R-R-Y. I'm sure all love strawberries, and I'm a very great fan of strawberry ice cream and strawberry jam. I'm sure you too are, isn't it? Let's jump on to the third one. I'm a fruit, small and juicy. I grow as a vine, usually in bunches of more than 9. Wow, this is sounding so great. It is not going to be this. It's not going to be this too, because I can't see something juicy and growing on the vine. Definitely is going to start with G. Yes, you got it right. It's grapes. We all love grapes, isn't it? I can just go on gobbling grapes. Okay, let's go to the fourth one. I'm a root vegetable. I can be red, white or green. I can make you cry a lot, though I do not mean. Now, here we have a choice between this and this. It's going to be definitely this. You are right, you got it. It's an onion. Wow, yes, it can be red, it can be white and it can be green. And the vegetables, when we put them or as a salad toss, it's definitely great. Onions are great. Okay, so that was a wonderful warm-up session that we had. Let's see what's looking ahead for us. Learn the different ways by which plants reproduce. That's what we are going to learn. Know about the seed structure and study the conditions that are required for seed germination. Know and learn the different methods of seed dispersal. Understand the differences between the different types of crops. Know about the different stages of agriculture. Looks interesting, isn't it? So let's go on our journey to learn more about plants. Here we go. Reproduction in plants. Let's see what it is. All right, children? Okay. Now, what is that we are going to learn about? The first thing is we are going to learn about is the reproduction in plants. Sounds interesting, isn't it? Let's see what it is. All living things reproduce. Plants and animals reproduce to create more of their kind. This process is known as reproduction. So what is reproduction, children? Plants and animals reproduce to create more of their kind. The process is known as reproduction. We see a variety of plants in our surroundings. Plants reproduce in various ways. Now let us see the ways in which the plants reproduce. They reproduce from seeds, from different parts of the plant other than seeds, and from spores. That's great. Now we have finished with the reproduction in plants. We are going to move further to reproduction in seeds. Well, let's see that. Most plants bear flowers. Flowers grow into fruits. We all love fruits, isn't it? I love fruits. Fruits contain seeds inside them. Some fruits have only one seed in them. Some have a few seeds, while some others have a large amount of seeds. Okay, now let's read this fact is quickly. The largest seed in the world is the cocodemer. It can be up to 30 centimeters long and can weigh up to 18 kgs. My gosh. Children, do surf the net for this and have a look at it in person, alright, and get me some information from that. When you do such sort of research, you're definitely going to be good. Then next we have the black mustard seeds, are one of the smallest seeds in the world. They are about 1 millimeters in diameter. Now this too is a quite interesting fact, isn't it, children? I love this fact that I've learned. Now let's go further to learn about the structure of a seed. We are going to learn about what, children? Structure of a seed. That's interesting. Are we ready? Yes, I too am ready with you. Although seeds of different plants may differ in size, shape and color, they have parts which are common. The seeds have a hard covering called the seed coat. What is the hard covering called, children? It is called the seed coat. It protects the seed from being damaged. Look at that. How the seed coat is taking care of its seed, na? That's interesting, children. Do you know what is inside the seed? Let's see now, okay? Soak a few bean seeds for 2 or 3 days. Observe the soaked bean seeds. You will notice that the seeds swell up and the seed coat becomes soft. Split the bean seed and observe what is inside. You will see seed leaves. What will you see? Seed leaves. The seed leaves inside a seed are called cotyledons. What are they called, children? Cotyledons. These cotyledons contain all the food supply for the baby plant. Seeds with 2 cotyledons are called dicotyledonous or dicot seeds. For example, kidney beans. A corn seed has only 1 cotyledon and is hence called monocotyledonous or monocot seed. The baby plant inside a seed is called the embryo. Now let's understand it better from the diagram, children. Just look at it. Now this is a dicot seed and this is a monocot seed. Now both have the seed coat, both have the seed leaves, and this is the embryo, whereas in a dicot seed, here we have the embryo. I hope you all understood, and you can learn it more better with practice. First and foremost, soak the bean seed and see what happens. Then I want you to draw this sketch, all right, with a pencil, and of course you can use color pencils later, but draw it and let it seep into your brains so that you will understand things better. Now further we move to the germination of seed. Let us see how the germination of a seed takes place, children. All right? Okay, most plants grow from seeds, but all seeds do not grow into plants. But all seeds do not grow into plants. Only ripe and healthy seeds, which get all the favorable conditions, grow into new plants. Germination is the process by which a seed produces a baby plant or seedling in the presence of water, air and warmth. If any one condition is missing, the seeds will not germinate. Did you understand that? What we learnt about the germination? Now let's see what interesting matter is here, children. A seed needs good soil which is rich in nutrients along with air, warmth and water to grow into a plant. Air is needed by the seed to germinate. Warmth makes the seed active. Water is absorbed by the food inside the seed to nourish the embryo. Water also softens the seed coat so that the baby plant can break it open and come out. Definitely this was an interesting part, isn't it? And we learned about germination too. Let's see further what matter is there about germination. Here they are showing us a lovely activity, children. Take 3 open glass bowls and perform the activity as shown in the 3 images. Ensure that the cotton is set up. B does not dried up. Okay, ensure that the cotton in the setup B, this is a setup B, okay, does not dry up. You have to ensure that the cotton doesn't dry. Okay, children. Now see here in A we have the seeds, the dry cotton and the wool. In B, seeds, wet cotton and wool. And in C, we have water and seeds. Observe the seeds for a day or two. In which bowl did you find the seeds germinate into plants and why? Now this is the activity that you are going to perform and you are going to tell me why such a thing happened and in which bowl. What happened in case A, what happened in case B and what happened in case C. Now you have to find out and you will have to explain to me shortly. That is after 2 days. Did you get my point? Very good. Now let us learn the stages of seed germination through this diagram. Okay, now this is a bean seed and this is a maize seed. Let's see the bean seed first. Now this is the radicle, this is the seed coat, this is called the hypocotyl, this is the cotyledon, alright, and this is the epicotyl. And this is the also here the hypocotyl. This is how from the seed it went on growing and growing and growing, and this is how it became into a plant. Okay, so this is the stage of seed germination in a bean seed. Now let's turn our gaze or our focus to the maize seed. Now this is the cotyledon here, and here we have the radicals. This is a seed coat and this is the plumule. Okay, and these are the leaves. Did you get it over here? So this is the stage of germination in the maize seed. So we had a lovely look at it. So you two children can plant a bean seed and see how it grows. That is, you can observe the stage of seed germination in the bean seed, and if you happen to get some maize too, it would be great if you could do that too. Alright children, now let's see what we have. Of course, I just forgot to mention to you as to what is the exact meaning of epicotyl. The portion of embryo or seedling above the cotyledons is known as epicotyl. And let's see what's hypocotyl. The portion of embryo or seedling below the cotyledons. Did you get it, children? This is the epicotyl and this is the hypocotyl. Let's see what's in store for us further. Okay, here the embryo root pushes the seed coat. It grows down into the soil and forms the root. The cotyledons are pulled upwards. The baby plant, called seedling, starts coming out of the cotyledons. The stem grows above the soil and the leaves appear first. When the leaves develop completely, the cotyledons fall off. The process of germination is thus completed. Now this too was interesting, isn't it, children? So we have learned how the germination takes place, and also we have learned how germination, the process of germination, gradually gets completed. Now let's see what has this fact is in store for us. Okay, the part of the seed that grows upwards and gives rise to the shoot system is called plumule. What is it called, children? Plumule. Okay, then the part of the seed that grows downwards and gives rise to the root system is called radicle. That's great. Now children, you have to learn the definition of plumule as well as radicle. Now we finished the germination of seed. Now let's proceed further to seed dispersal. Okay, we will proceed further to seed dispersal. Now let's see what is seed dispersal. If all the seeds fall on the ground near the parent plant and germinate, there will be a struggle for food, water and sunlight. What will happen if all the seeds fall on the ground near the parent plant and germinate? There will be a struggle. All of them will want the food, water and sunlight. Thus seeds have to spread out in large areas so that they get suitable conditions and grow up into healthy adult plants. The carrying away of fruit and seeds to distant places from their parent plant is known as seed dispersal. Now I can ask you orally or during the test as to what is seed dispersal, and what are you going to, you will jot down the answer. The carrying away of fruit and seeds to distant places from the parent plant is known as seed dispersal. Now seeds and fruits of many plants have developed special features in order to get dispersed. Forces of nature like wind, water and animals also help in dispersal of seeds. They are called agents of dispersal. Now which are the agents of dispersal, children? Wind, water, animals. Got it? Next, let's go to the now since we have learned the different about the seed dispersal and the agents of seed dispersal, we are going to learn in depth about each agent of dispersal. First, we are going to begin with the dispersal of, that is dispersal by wind, children. What are we going to learn? Dispersal by wind. Seeds which are dispersed by wind are either light in weight or have hair or wings. Dandelion and cotton seeds have hair, while maple, drumsticks and jacaranda seeds have wings. This helps the seeds to be carried away by the wind. Now let's look at some of the seeds that we have here. We have over here the dandelion seeds. Can you see? They have, what do they have? They have hair. You also might be seeing, I have seen a lot of these dandelion seeds being dispersed, and I used to wonder as to why these things, I used to feel that there are some creatures flying about. Now today when I see, I came to know that it is dandelion seeds. Okay, so you can also go to the surf the net and find out about them. Then we have this beautiful maple seeds. Okay, they have wings. Can you see the wings here, children? Okay, that's interesting. Then we have the drumstick seeds here. They too, what you can say, have wings. So that is how they get carried away by wind and they are dispersed so that they can grow, germinate and grow better. Then we have finished with the dispersal by wind. Now we are going to come to dispersal by water. Alright, the seeds of fruits of plant that grow in or near flowing water get dispersed by water. The coconut has a fibrous outer covering. What does you have seen the coconut, right? If you have not, please go to your provision store and tell him to give you a coconut. Bring it home and observe it. Okay, you will find that it has a fibrous outer covering. It has air trapped between its fibers. The lotus has a spongy root. These features enable them to float on water and reach other areas to grow there. Got it? That is how the coconut seed and the lotus too is dispersed by water. Now let's see further dispersal by animals. What are we going to see now, children? Dispersal by animals. Alright, let's see what something interesting I'm sure it has in store for us. Some seeds have hooks, spikes or stiff hair that can easily get caught in the fur or feathers of passing animals. These seeds fall off when the animals accidentally brush against a surface such as a bush. Seeds of datura, xanthium, tiger's claw are dispersed by animals. Okay, many fruits are tasty. We eat the fleshy parts of some fruits like lychee, peach, mango, orange and papaya. The seeds then are thrown away on the ground. Many birds and animals eat the fruits along with the seeds. The seeds passed out undigested through their waste or droppings and reach the ground. Jamun, cherry and apple seeds are dispersed in this way. Some animals such as squirrels collect fruits or seeds and bury them in places far away from the parent plants. They often forget these buried seeds which begin to germinate in their new location. Now children, see these seeds dispersed by water. See how the coconut floats and see how the lotus too floats over here. Okay, that's how they get dispersed. And see the dispersal by animals here. The cocklebur, which is also called the xanthium fruits, they are dispersed by dogs. Hazelnut is dispersed by the jaybird. Got it? So that was something interesting that we learnt about dispersal by animals and by water. Now further on, we are going to learn dispersal by fruit explosion. Wow! Let's see what is all this fruit explosion is about, children. The fruits of some plants like balsam, pea and poppy explode when ripe and shoot out the seeds. Look at this. This is a poppy plant and this is a pea pod. These seeds, they just burst open and boom goes the seed. And they shoot it out, and that's how the dispersal takes place. This is an interesting fact about nature, isn't it? See how lovely is the nature. See, it was so interesting to learn how the seeds get dispersed by wind, by water, by animals, and finally the fruit explosion, children. What was it? Fruit explosion. Wasn't that fascinating, children? Okay, now let's see here what is over here. Two pots were kept side by side. One pot had a tulsi plant, the other pot had only soil. After a few days, it was observed that the pot with soil had small tulsi plant. Now how did this happen? Now put on your thinking caps. You are going to plant that and you are going to see and you are going to do the research and tell me how it happened when we meet soon. All right, now let's see what the checkpoint 1 has in store for us, children. All right, let's see. Correct and rewrite the following statements. Now what is it over here? All seeds grow into plants. Now this is wrong. What is supposed to be written over here, children? All seeds do not grow into plants. What are you going to write it there? All seeds do not grow into plants. Please take your book and note it down, children. Then the second one, we have seeds with 2 seed coats are called monocot seeds. Okay, so let us see what has to be written here. Seeds with 2 seed coats are called dicot seeds. This monocot has to be made to dicot. What are you going to change it over here? You are going to repeat the sentence and you are going to write dicot. Now let us see what is the third sentence. Some seeds do not require water for germination. They can grow into plants in the presence of air and warmth. Now this is wrong. All seeds require water for germination. What do we need for germination? We need water. The seed needs water, air and warmth. They can grow into plants in the presence of water, air and warmth. That is what you are going to write. You are going to include water and you are going to say that all seeds need water. Got it? Now next, the fourth one. Dicot seeds do not have roots. Now this is also wrong. We are going to write over here dicot seeds have roots. What are you going to cancel this and write that there? Okay, the part of the seed that gives rise to root system is called the plumule. No, the part of the seed that gives rise to the shoot system, instead of root system, you are going to write here shoot system, is called the plumule. Did you get it, children? That was great information, isn't it? And we had a lovely revision too. Now let's move further to the reproduction in plants. Reproduction in plants through vegetative parts. Got it, children? Okay, most plants grow from seeds, but there are some plants which grow from stems, leaves, roots, etc. Now we are going to see about growing plants from stem, children. Growing plants from stem. All right. Now let's see. A slant cut is made in the stem. The cut stem is planted in soil. After some days, new leaves grow from the stem. Now this is quite interesting and looks really lovely, and I'm sure each one of you will want to do it. I want to do it. Now come on, get set ready and start. Go and find a stem, cut it into a slant, and then cut and plant it in the soil and observe how the new leaves grow from the stem. Now onion, potato and ginger are underground stems. There are small buds on the potato and a ginger which grow into new plants. Money plant and sugarcane grow into new plant if a stem cutting is planted in the soil. So children, now quickly one of these plants you find. If you can't find the money plant and the sugarcane, that's a little bit tedious. Money plant, of course, you can get immediately. Sugarcane, you'll have to visit the field or a sugarcane shop. okay, where they give sugarcane juice. But rather the quickest thing would be this will be found in our homes. That's the onion, potato and ginger. So just pick up one of them. The choice is yours and get ready with your experiment. Okay, now let's see what this activity 2 is here. The aim is to show that some plants reproduce through the stem. Materials required: a few potatoes that I already told you to do it with eyes on them, soil and water. What's going to be the procedure? Take a few potato pieces, put them in the soil in pot or ground, water them daily. What will you observe? You will see buds appearing on some parts of the potato. If you keep this potato in a warm place for a few days, you will notice that the leaves are growing from the buds. Now note it down. Now if you place the potato in a bowl of water and keep it in the refrigerator, you will observe that the growth of the leaves stop. Now what is the reason for this? Because every plant needs warmth that is given to it by the sunlight, water and air. We gave it water. There is a bit of, I will not say a lot of air circulation, little might be there in the refrigerator, but definitely they will want a better environment. There is no sunlight, okay, but so it has to be grown like this. Now do it, be quick. Now further, this is what you learnt about the stem, children. Now we are going to grow plants from roots. Let's see how the growing of plants from roots takes place. Okay, sweet potatoes grow into new plants from their roots. Now see, where it is the potatoes, the simple potatoes, it is different. Now here sweet potatoes are different. They grow into new plants from their roots. Buds appear on the roots of a sweet potato. These buds then grow into new plants. Carrot and turnip can also be grown from their roots. Which are the other vegetables, children? Carrot and turnip. Now let's see activity number 3. Aim is to grow plants from roots. Take a carrot and cut off its top portion. Now place it on a tray with the cut end facing downwards. Now put some soil and pour water into the tray such that half a portion of the carrot is dipped under water. Keep the tray in a place such that its top receives enough sunlight. Observe it. After few days, a new plant will grow from the top. Now see this, these are the lovely carrots, the juicy carrots, and carrot roots grow into a new plant. See how it grows. Okay, you have to do that and observe it. Carrots are available in plenty at the green grocer. Then next we are going to grow plants. We are going to understand, not grow right now. Of course you can have your experimentation. Growing plants from leaves. Now this seems to be quite interesting to children. Alright, leaves of Bryophyllum and Begonia, which is also known as the elephant ear. Okay, this is the Bryophyllum leaf. Alright, which is also known, and this is and what is Begonia, also known as the elephant ear, grows buds along their edges. Can you see these buds over here on the Bryophyllum growing along their edges? These buds grow into new plants when they fall on the ground and find soil, water and warmth. Now we finish with these from the leaves. Now we are going to proceed further to growing plants from spores. Some plants do not bear seeds and flowers. They reproduce through special structures called spores. Ferns, mushrooms and some fungi have spores underside of their leaves. These spores fall on the ground and grow into new plants. See this? This is a fern leaf. The spores are on the underside of the fern leaf. I want you to do research about the bryophyllum, the begonia and the fern leaf, children, okay, and give me the details about it, jot it down, make a special book, okay, on all these findings that you do. Now let's go to the checkpoint 2. Poppy. Now what will poppy go with? It will definitely go with dispersal by explosion, okay. Then we have the fern. It grows from spores. That's what we learned just now. Onion grows from stems that we had learned recently. Dandelion. How is dandelion dispersed? It is dispersed by wind. Then what about carrot? Carrot grows from roots. That's all this we had learned, okay. We had learned about growing plants from what is that? Stem, from roots, from leaves, from spores also. Alright, and we had also learned about dispersal by wind and dispersal by animals and humans and dispersal by explosion too. Alright, now fill in the blanks. The part of the plant that grows below the ground is called a plumule or a radicle. It is called a radicle, children. Note it down, please. The scattering of seeds away from the parent plant is called seed dispersal. What is it called? Seed dispersal. Write it down, alright? Plants that do not bear seeds and flowers reproduce through special structures called spores or cotyledons. Definitely they are spores. Any piece of potato with an dash can grow into a new plant. Eye or ear? It's definitely a eye. An eye. Okay? It's definitely an eye. Now let's learn something interesting about agriculture. Alright, the practice of growing plants on a large scale for food or other purposes is called agriculture. Now, if I may ask you again, what is agriculture? The practice of growing plants on a large scale for food or other purposes is called agriculture. The large amount of grains, fruits and vegetables grown by a farmer in a particular season at a particular place is called a crop. What is it called, children? It is called a crop. Now let's see the types of crops, okay? We are going to learn about the types of crops. Different crops require different kinds of soil, climate and amount of water to grow. Now let's have a brief study on this table. The name of the crop, season grown in, kind of soil and water needed. Now here we have wheat, mustard, gram. It is grown in winter. And what kind of soil does it need? It needs sandy soil. And how much amount of water is needed? It needs less water. Then we have jawar, bajra, maize. Which season it grows in? It grows in summer. And what kind of soil is it? Does it require sandy soil? And what about the water? Less water. Then we have rice. Which season does it grow in? Summer. And what kind of soil does it need? Wet and clayey soil. Clayey, okay, wet and clayey soil. But rice requires lots of water. Crops that are grown in winter are called rabi crops. These crops are grown from November to April and do not depend on monsoon rains. For example, wheat and legumes. This is wheat. How lovely it is, no? From wheat we get, our moms make lovely chapatis, isn't it? And we all love to eat them. Crops that are grown in summer are called kharif crops. These crops are grown from June to October and depend largely on monsoon rains. For example, rice and maize. Look at this maize. Children, please surf the net and learn more about it. Look at the clips about them. You will enjoy it. Okay. Now, what are legumes? We'll understand what are legumes. Plants that have seeds in pots such as beans or peas. They also have nitrogen fixing bacteria in their roots. That's great piece of information. Now we will have the different stages of agriculture. What are we going to learn now, children? About the different stages of agriculture. Different stages of agriculture. All right. The various stages of crop production are given below. First, we will begin with ploughing. The field is ploughed, that is, the soil is loosened using a plough to get air into the soil and to remove stones, pebbles, etc. before the seeds are sown. Okay, next we have the enrichment of soil. First we finished ploughing. All right, that was one. Then we have on number 2, enrichment of soil. Manure, that is cow dung, and fertilizers like urea, superphosphate, ammonium sulfate and nitrate are added to enrich the soil. After ploughing, the soil is enriched with manure and fertilizers. Then we have sowing. Healthy seeds are sown in the soil. Sufficient space is left between the seeds. That way, they get enough warmth, air and water as required by them to grow and do not compete with each other for the same. Okay, it's competing is they're going to have tussle. Okay, the seeds if there is no enough of space. Got it? So we learnt about sowing. Okay. Then we have irrigation. The crops are irrigated, and that is water is supplied to the fields through pipes and channels so that the crops get sufficient water for growth. Okay, this is irrigation. Then we have use of chemicals. What do we have, children? Use of chemicals. The crops are sprayed with chemicals called pesticides to protect them from pests like mice. Farmers place scarecrows in fields to frighten away the birds. The fields are also fenced to protect them from grazing animals. Adding too much fertilizers and chemicals is not good for the soil. Got it? Okay, then we have harvest and storage. What do we have, children? Harvest and storage. The crops are harvested, that is, they are cut and gathered when ripe. The harvested crops must be stored in godowns carefully to prevent damage to the grains and seeds. Finally, I guess we have transportation. What do we have? Transportation. Okay. The stored crop is transported to different places from where it reaches our kitchens. Non-perishable crops such as cereals and pulses can be stored for a longer period and transported later, but perishable crops such as fruits and vegetables have to be transported quickly. And what do you mean by perishable? Likely to decay quickly. Okay, now let's have a quick look at the fact is The major seasonal and harvesting festivals that are celebrated in India include Basant Panchami, Pongal, Makar Sankranti, Lohri, Onam, Baisakhi, Bogali Bihu, etc. So find out also, surf the net and find out about them too. So what were the different stages of agriculture that we learned? It was ploughing, enrichment of soil, sowing, irrigation, use of chemicals, harvest and storage, and transportation, of course. Let's see. Now what is it now? Step farming. Let us see what is the step farming, children. Okay, we are going to see what is step farming. In hilly regions, people do not have enough flat surface to grow crops. So they cut steep slopes into several steps and create flat surfaces for growing crops. This type of farming is called step, contour or terrace farming. See, so beautiful, no? Isn't it lovely? Steps and how they have the farming over here. See, surf the net and find out about step farming to children, so that you will have all the details and you will be able to answer and present yourselves better. Okay, now let's have a brief look at the summary. Different fruits bear different number of seeds. Plants can grow through seeds, stems, roots, leaves and spores. A seed needs 4 main elements to grow: soil, air, water and warmth. Seeds scatter away from the parent plant through various ways. Agents of dispersal are wind, water, animals and fruit explosion. 2 main crops grown in India are rabi, that is in winter, and kharif, summer crops. I hope you had a lovely time, children. Have a fantastic day and go on revising this lesson again and again through this shoot and do a lot of research, children. Thank you.